What's up everybody, Goat Toaster 9 JJ Shankles here, back with a quick review. Today we're going to be talking about the Follow Focus for the AK2000. This is the AK series Follow Focus 1. There's a Follow Focus 2 that can come bundled with the AK4000, but I bought the AK2000 and this came in a bundle with it. In this review I'm going to go through the features. This one has the features that the Follow Focus 2 has, the price differences between them. Maybe this is the perfect follow focus for your gimbal uses, maybe it's not. And I'll go through some of the use cases for this one, why this becomes a useful feature, an accessory add-on to your gimbal that maybe is a useful thing in your photography, your film shooting. Maybe you need to upgrade to the Follow Focus 2. Maybe you don't even need something like this. A lot of times where you won't need it, you don't need a follow focus. Autofocus is very good for a lot of things and a lot of situations, but there are some situations where you want the follow focus, where you want to control focus on a scene or control the changes in a scene. So let's get into that. As I'm getting into the unboxing of this, if you'll go and subscribe down below, and if you are thinking about purchasing this at the end of this video, if you use the Amazon affiliate link, it really helps out the channel. But let's get into the unboxing of this. The first piece you pull out is the motor. This is the main toothed gear motor on here. It's gonna attach USB. It's great how simple this is. The cord is the perfect length to USB connect to the base of your gimbal, and then you can control it from the gimbal. Next you got the arm. This is gonna attach to your hot shoe mount and onto the motor. This piece will be your cold shoe mount. And the last piece, this last piece is the toothed band. This attaches onto your manual focus lens and allows the motor to grab onto these teeth and control the focus ring. So putting it together is pretty simple. In the box there was actually no manual, no instructions, which I thought was odd. Not that you need them, and if you do need them, this video will walk you through it. So you put the bar, you attach the cold shoe mount on one side, you attach the motor on the other. It's got the same tightening ring as on your gimbal. You'll use these same type fasteners to balance your gimbal on there. And that's it, pretty much. You attach those two. Next, you'll take a lens with a manual focusing ring on here. This is the Miki 35mm f1.8. I'll post a link to the review of this up here maybe. I usually rotate it to one extreme of the aperture ring. Pull this around, and the teeth affix into each other. You pull it a little bit tight on there, and then they just slide in. Holds on well. Takes two hands. Now it's on there tight, so when the teeth of the motor grab onto here, it can easily make the whole thing spin around there. It's gonna be really easy once we put it all together. It's really great. But now that we've got it put together, I wanted to show you a couple examples of maybe why a follow focus is useful for you. If it's a useful shot for you, then a follow focus on your gimbal can be very useful. I liked using this instead of my hand, where with the follow focus, you can get a very smooth and consistent transition from one focus point to a different focus point. Whereas with my hand, trying to just move the aperture ring, it's a lot harder to get a perfectly smooth transition through the entire thing. Unless you're a professional. For a professional, using your hand to change focusing, that's probably gonna be way better than any follow focus can do, because it's easy, it's simple for you. But I know for me, my hand is not that smooth. I'm not a professional follow focus shooter, so I use autofocus for most things, because for most situations, you're gonna want to use your autofocus. But if this is for you, maybe this will work. So there are a couple key differences between the Follow Focus 1 and the Follow Focus 2. So the Follow Focus 1 is just a standard electronic motor inside of there. It doesn't actually say, so it might be a servo motor, but it has some noise to it. While the Follow Focus 2 is a brushless motor, which makes it quieter and more accurate. The Follow Focus 2 allows the capability of using the gimbal to automatically step between two focus points. It's similar like using the automatic panning feature of the AK2000 or AK4000. where you set one point and then you set an end point. You set how long you want it to transition between the 2 points, and it'll just pan across the whole thing. With this, you set one focus point on your ring, on your focus ring, and then you set your end point on your focus ring, and then you set how long you want it to transition between the two, and it'll just change your focus between the two very smoothly, very accurately, and very quietly. Which that's an amazing feature that I don't fully understand why they can't do that with this motor, but they can do it with the brushless motor. I was looking online and tried to find any way that it would let me do it. I tried physically using this one, and that feature, it said you needed to attach a brushless follow focus. In the gimbal, it was giving me that error that no brushless follow focus was attached. So I don't totally understand that, why they would make it work with one of them and not with the other, and why this one's bundled with it. And the AK2000 could use the brushless follow focus. So it makes it an odd bundle why they would bundle these two together, but you can't use the functionality. But it is what it is, and you can still use this one. I also find you can use the app. If you like using your app for controlling the gimbal pan, tilt, roll, you can also use it to adjust your focus straight through the app to control it. There's a slight latency between the two, but it really isn't all that bad for just a quick pan shot or quick follow focus set. It's not that bad. The latency between the two really isn't all that bad. One thing to be aware of is that it can be a little tricky to mount this whole rig onto shorter lenses. For this example, I've got the Nikon D7000. With this one, it's got the 35mm lens. It's a very short lens. The focus ring is only here. You only got about 1.5 inches from the front of your flash to try to hook it all together. And so I sort of had to mount it backwards in this case. Can you see that? I had to mount it backwards on here. Normally you'd mount it the other way where the gear would be on the front of the motor to get it to spin, but in this case, the motor bumps into the flash in the body of the camera, which just doesn't really work. So you have to flip it around backwards on the mounting pole, which is great that it gives you that usability you can. And then you got to tuck the little wire around to not get it in front of the actual lens. Tuck it to the side, then you plug it into your gimbal underneath, and it still works. I've been able to work it with a couple different lenses. One of the difficult ones was this short Miki lens. It's such a short lens on my Fuji X-T2, but I was still able to do it with the similar trick of mounting it backwards on the extension arm pole thing, and you can still get it to work that way. But let me know in the comments what you think about the follow focus. Do you use the follow focus, or is it not really something you'd use on a gimbal and you'd much rather just manual focus or use your autofocus? That's sort of the boat I was in until I found a couple use cases, and for me, I really enjoyed that it was bundled in there free. I do wish it had the functionality of auto stepping between two focal points that the Follow Focus 2 has, but a $50 increase from the Follow Focus 1 to Follow Focus 2 didn't really seem worth it to me. But I haven't actually used the Follow Focus 2, so I might not be the best judge of how the Follow Focus 2 works for your situations. Thank you for sticking around for another review. As always, like and subscribe down below, and use those affiliate links down below to Amazon if you do want to purchase the Follow Focus 1 or Follow Focus 2. It really helps the channel out if you use those. Thank you, and Go Toaster out.